What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Twisted Life of TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another recap and review of Raising Kanan. This is season 3, episode 10, the season finale, Major Look. All right, y'all. Y'all got it out the way? Y'all got it out your system? Y'all done went around to every other recap and review that y'all could think of. And now y'all landed here on this Monday night for this recap and review of Twisted Life of TV, which y'all already know my views are a little bit more twisted than a lot of people y'all see out there. Starting with the fact that I did not like this. I did not like this finale. I didn't like it. I didn't like it for a lot of reasons. I know I should have been ecstatic and happy for that big reveal at the end, but it was already spoiled. However, I will say that even though I knew that reveal at the end was going to happen, the way that this was written, I wasn't even looking forward to it. I had completely forgot about it, actually. And then when it came on at the end, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's how I felt about it. And it's so weird because that's one of my favorite characters, but I didn't like it. I do think overall that this was an amazing season. We got some disconnect after the writer's strike had happened. And it didn't seem to bounce back to me, including this finale. There was a lot of things that people wanted to have happen that did happen, but for me, they didn't make complete sense. And that's why I'm saying I didn't really like this finale. It seemed like they were time jumping and weren't filling in the gaps in a way that made sense to me. Put it that way. It's 2 weeks later from the last episode. We know this because everybody kept on saying it's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. They kept repeating it over and over again. Aisha said it to Juke. It's been 2 weeks. The therapist said it to. In therapy session, you've been here for 2 weeks now. Crystal said it's been 2 weeks since what happened in the mall. Everybody has been saying it's been 2 weeks, so we know that it's been 2 weeks. Okay. Well, it starts off with Lou, and we get this aerial view of Lou going across his face, and I'm thinking he looks too peaceful. He ain't dead. There was some speculation from, shout out to Miss Honey, first of all, for introducing me to TSF Entertainment. Shout out to TSF Entertainment for inviting me to the panel, which I could not make because I was still at work and I hadn't watched the episode yet. But one of the speculations that they brought up in their panel last week was that they thought Lou may have been going off to rehab. And that's exactly what's happening in this particular episode. But if that speculation wasn't even thrown out there, I already knew Lou was not dead, because the way that Rock kills people and that they've been what's the word I'm gonna say? I ain't gonna say trained, but set up to take someone out, especially at close range, especially somebody that they know is 2 shots to the chest, 1 to the dome. There was no shots to the dome on Lou anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Even if he was at the morgue, you know what I'm saying? And they had ordered the mortician. Who is he? The Undertaker. If they was, even if he was there and he did the makeup on, you know what I'm saying? You would have saw something. There was nothing there to indicate that Lou had been shot. So when he opened his eyes, I wasn't surprised. Okay, well, he been in rehab for the last 2 weeks, and this is a therapy session that's going on, and they brought Rock in to talk about their feelings. Okay, Rock is still very defensive. She's still very deflective of Lou, and she's annoyed as fuck that she even in this position, right? The doctor brought up the fact that, well, maybe you feel this way, or you acting like you don't care, you acting like you ain't got no feelings because you hurt. And Rock said, I ain't hurt by shit, okay? I ain't never been hurt. You know, sometimes, you know, they got on the therapy session of how she don't believe in therapy. She don't believe that you should have to pay somebody to talk about your feelings, this, that, and the third. But she made mention of something about you need to get this shit out their chest. You need to let it out, you know. She don't drown herself in a bottle. And Lou was basically saying that's what the fuck I've been doing. I've been speaking my truth, speaking to my feelings. And first she was telling him he need to keep that shit to himself. But he talking about his feelings. You know, he is hurt. He's going through a range of emotions here. It's 2 weeks and he still don't seem like he's in no better place than he was the last time we seen him, except that he's sober. That's all we see at this particular point. He done went through his withdrawals and all this, then the third. And come to find out that Lou considers Rock to be the closest person in his life to him, which is amazing to me, since Rock is very much like his mother, who he cannot stand. Very much like her. Okay, so I'm surprised that the Rock is the one that you hold on to so tightly, and she is the walking parallel to who your mother is. But you know, Rock goes on to say, "Hey, you my little baby brother, you my heart, you always been my heart." Now remember when we first opened up this show, Lou and Marvin was at it. They was always going at it. They didn't have that type of bond that they have now. Marvin has built better relations between everybody at this particular point, and which I think is one reason why Rock had to say, you know, Marvin has helped kicking in on this bill because she's paying for the care, and he actually cares about you too. You know, that's probably something that Lou may not have felt over the time, but Marvin was always in and out of jail because Marvin was once a drug addict, if we don't remember that part. So I'm gonna get through Lou because his whole thing is him talking to the therapist and letting out his feelings and his emotions, and let's find out where he's still at this particular point in his life. Like I said, he's really no better than he was. We get the FBI, Tanner and them show up to question him about Marvin and Marvin's relationship with Howard, which of course everybody keeps saying Marvin don't fuck with cops, right? So he ain't got no relationship with Howard. Well, did you know that Howard put an APB out on you, or an undercover APB out on you, was all points bulletin? He basically told the streets, hey, look for Lou and let me know where he at. And somehow that got back to Tanner. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, you can't trust. These supposed to be your boys in blue. These boys in blue supposed to be your brother, the brotherhood. But when you black, the motherfuckers will turn on you quick. They don't even like the fucking FBI, but somehow his boys in blue, his brotherhood, then went to the FBI and told Tanner, oh yeah, he had us out here looking for him. So since he got him out here looking for him, he knows there's got to be some type of affiliation with Howard. So it's now done came off of Marvin is really not our focus, even though he is our focus. But let's make sure we take down Howard. Okay. Well, after they had that conversation, Lou realized that nothing's going to change for him. He's going, even once he gets out of here, he's going to be the same person that he's always been, the person that he has become, because his past is always going to come back up on him. There's going to be things that are going to keep coming back to the forefront that he's going to have to face and deal with. It's going to keep reminding him of the person he's trying not to be. Right? So what does Lou do? Lou tries to kill himself. Well, he didn't try. Somehow he walking through the night and the janitor had just came out of the storage room and left the door open. Lou goes in there and finds 2 wrapped up extension cords. He grabs one, right? Takes the extension cord, takes it, wraps it over the door and put it on the door handle. So if anybody pulled the door handle, that will help him die even further if he wasn't dead already. But basically, Lou trying to kill himself. He takes the cord and wraps it around his neck. He got it on there and tight. First of all, that cord is going to snap. I used to play double dutch with extension cords. That cord is going to snap, lose weight. It's not going to hold him up enough to kill him. And when you strangle somebody, unless it's going to take his head off, which it's not going to do because it's going to snap, he's not going to die from that cord. Probably injure his neck, some shit like that, but okay. Anywho, Lou sees his reflection in the mirror and he doesn't like what he sees, and he breaks down and starts crying, and he gets the extension cord off his neck, and he curls up in a little fetal position next to the door and just boo-hoo. That's how we end scene with Lou. That didn't give me shit. It didn't give me any type of closure for Lou at all. None at all. I'm thinking at this point, since he's in therapy, he's talking in therapy, and he's talking to the therapist, that he has told the therapist some of the things that are really eating away at him. You know how Marvin was able to talk around the subject matter when he was in his counseling session without really saying what it is he did. That's what I want to know, what was going on with Lou. Was he doing that? But it seems like Lou was not even involved in the sessions directly, or in that way really engaged, and it's going to really benefit him. So he may end up being in there longer than he only had 2 more weeks left. He had already been in there 2 weeks. Only had 2 more weeks left, but it's a possibility that he may end up in there longer. When Lou gets out, if he does another attempt on his life again, if he gets out, he's still not going to be no good to the streets. He told Rock that he was done. Okay, Rock ended up apologizing for all the stuff she said and all the stuff she did, and then he finally took accountability for his own grown ass man actions, stuff like that. But Lou was never gonna be the same. He never gonna be the same. They have wrote this character that has taken such a downfall this particular from season 1 to now. Okay, he has taken such the most rapid decline in judgment and character change out of all these characters to me, to the point that the fans don't even like him as a person anymore. The fans don't like him at all anymore. And yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with Lil character. It's like, and if he doesn't kill himself, or I need to know what happened to him 20 years later when we on the original Power. Where's Uncle Lou? Because Uncle Lou was hella young, because Rock was only supposed to be like 32 right now. Okay, let me see. Okay, this is 92. Let me get Rock's age right. Kanan was 10 in 85. This is now 7 years later in 92. Okay, so Rock had Kanan when she was 17. And it was 10 in 85. So she'd been 27 7 years later. Rock's 34. Rock is 34 at this time. And Lou is like late 20s, if anything. That means he should have been only 40 something. 50? Because how old was Kanan? Kanan was 40. He should have been like 50s maybe in the original Power. Where was Uncle Lou? What happened to Uncle Lou? I need to know. Okay. I'm going to move on to Famous. So, Famous is... no, I can't move on to Famous yet until I tell you what happened to Rock. Okay, well, let's move on to Rock. So Rock is leaving the therapy, heading back to the crib, right? And she's driving through town. She stops at a red light. She looks over at the playground. I'm not sure exactly who she focused on. She took her glasses off to get a better look. And this car pulls up to the light, and the quick halt. That would have made me on alert right then. Somebody driving up to the light like that, or red light, on a lane that ain't got a road that ain't got 2 lanes. Okay, that would have made me trip out in the first place, right? Rock looked down at them. They open the window and pull out their gas, and they start blasting. She peels and takes off, right? And makes it home safely. She's at home smoking her cig, her Benson and Hedges, and in walks Marvin. And Marvin confirms that it was Ronnie that did the hit, right? The word is out on the street. Everybody named Mama know it was Ronnie. They wasn't in the white van. They wasn't in the car that he had stole, that little 5.0 he had stole. They was in, what is that car? Was that a Crown Vic? It looked like a Crown Vic. Was that a Park Avenue? Might have been a Park Avenue. But they wasn't in the car that Ronnie normally in. But somehow everybody on the street know that Ronnie had something to do with it. But Ronnie wasn't even in the car. Okay. Well, Famous, he running over to Kanan's crib, knocking on the door to tell Kanan that something happened to Rock. Now, Kanan is in there with Crystal. Crystal trying to make him an official boo thing. And Kanan like, look here, I just want to smoke this blunt and relax. Come to find out this girl done missed her period, right? We've already determined that she's not Sean's mama. Okay. Sean's mama name was Jarita. Shout out to Keisha Charmaine for bringing it up to me when I asked the question a few episodes back. So we know that Crystal is not Jarita. So we know Crystal is not Sean's mama. Plus Sean was not born until a few more years later. But he like, hey, dog, I'm just coming to check on you, see how you doing. We heard the block got shot up with Rock. She got away, but we don't know if she okay. I'm just checking. So Famous like, what the fuck you mean somebody tried to hit my mama? Then he put two and two together. That crazy ass nigga Ronnie, right? So Fame is now back at home with his mama. He's talking to Geflin, the record producer, on the phone about Lou, right? And he's telling him that Lou went on a little vacation, and as soon as he get back, then we gonna get this work in. Cool, right? At this particular time, oh no, Famous had made a statement that tripped me out. Famous made a statement that said Lou picked a good fucking time to be a drunk, right? There hasn't been one moment that Fame has been around Lou drinking. Nobody's supposed to know that Lou is in rehab. How does Fame know that Lou's disappearance has to do with his alcohol? Unless Shirley back at the bar blubber mouthing. How did Fame know that? But anyway, while all this is happening, the FBI the NYPD bust in the door. Okay, they arrested Fame for murder. So, we get down to the police station, come to find out Fame mama turned the fucking gun into the police. I told you something was about to happen with that gun, but her reaction didn't match. Even though she told Fame she was gonna never kick him out again, if you found a gun and you were so nervous that you decided to turn this gun into the police, when the police came and busted your fucking door down, you wasn't pissed at Fame at all? Because if it wasn't for you and that fucking gun in my house, they wouldn't be busting my door down right now. But anyway, mama stood 10 toes down, said she gonna get him a lawyer and everything. That police in there trying to hem him up for the Freddie murder, and he's standing on the, I ain't killed nobody. I just bought that gun off the street for my own protection. I ain't got nothing to do with nothing, right? Ballistic supposed to be came back, showed that was the same gun that killed Freddie. I forgot the officer who was in there, but Ping is another one that was in there. Ping still ain't said not one motherfucking word about Scrap's mama. We got not a single peep out of this episode about Scrap's mama and where the fuck she at and why the fuck she did. The last person she was seen talking to was Howard, but we ain't brought that up at all during this damn episode. Now you see why I'm not liking this episode? You see why it's not making sense to me? I'm gonna keep going because there's gonna be some more shit that don't add up to me. So they coming in there talking to him, and she said that she wanted to get him a lawyer, right? Want to have Famous have a lawyer. Well, while they waiting on the lawyer, Baptiste and Tanner come in. Now, I know that they probably ignored the fact, but when you say I want a lawyer, ain't nobody else supposed to talk to you. That's supposed to shut the shit down. When I call for a lawyer, the FBI, the chief of police, none of that can happen. Nobody comes in and talk to this person if I call for a lawyer. If the chief or Tanner got anything out of Famous at this particular point, all of that shit will be inadmissible because he asked for a lawyer and he could say he was coerced for that fucking information. Tanner comes in saying, we don't care nothing about nothing got to do with Freddie. All we want to know is what you know about Howard. Because we saw that when you got detained outside of Freddie's residence, pause right there. He did not get detained outside of Freddie's residence. He got detained in front of his residence. When they came and ran down on him and Kanan, or when they came and ran down on him and the biker boys, he was not outside of Freddie's residence. He was outside of his own, which is one of the reasons why we were saying that when the block is so fucking hot, why they out here hustling in front of the fucking building again after they just rained down and picked up the damn biker boys and picked up doggone Famous too. Famous was not at Freddie's house. He was at his own fucking house outside. But they keep saying, when you was detained in front of Freddie's house, in front of their residence, that ain't what happened. What happened was a neighbor was supposedly seeing Famous at the residence, which is how they supposedly tied him to the residence. It wasn't that he was at the residence when he got arrested. He was in front of his fucking house. I'm not going to digress this whole goddamn episode because I'm pissed off about the fact that a lot of shit wasn't tied up. They tried to make it all peachy keen. Try to make it all get jail together, but it wasn't gelling for me. It wasn't gelling for me. It was like putting water in the Jello mix and forgetting the refrigerator. That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what the fuck they did. So Tanner and her trying to get him to say that he killed Freddie in self-defense, and they can go with that story as long as he can give him something on Howard. Fame mama trying to convince him to take that deal, and Fame like, I need a lawyer. Now, I don't believe that Famous said a damn thing. I don't believe Famous said a damn thing. Because if they got Howard, then they got Marvin. And now the reason why I don't believe that Famous said a damn thing is because Kanan named his child after Famous 4 years down the road. I don't think that he would still be his friend if he betrayed his family member like that. He's mad at his mama. He ain't mad at Marvin. But if they take down Howard, they got Marvin because that's who they connecting together. I don't believe Famous said shit. But we don't know because that's the last we saw of Famous. But they got Howard down there. Howard at the station. He down there with his union rep. Tanner and the chief down there drilling him about his connection. He going on and on and on about Bingham told us that you came down there and talked to him, and Bingham told us that you told him to call IAD, and you told him to put the drugs on Burke. Bingham told us this. Bingham told us that. Burke told y'all the same fucking thing. But now that her daddy come in, now it's all believable. And then they questioning him about, okay, well, why did you, what's your connection with Lou? And what's your connection with Marvin? And what's your connection with this? We need answers. And if you don't come back and give us answers within 2 days, we going to have an arrest warrant for you. For what? What exactly is this arrest warrant? You don't have any information on Howard. In order for a judge to issue an arrest warrant, you have to have some substantiated evidence for them to be able to go to court to hold him on. Even back in 1992, you have nothing. They don't issue arrest warrants on a police officer just to question him, because you already questioning him right now. What are you arresting him for? What's the charge? Does he know a motherfucker? He's like, well, if you know Marvin and you know, then if he's connected to the crime organization, then you must be connected. How? What exactly are you issuing this warrant for? In the meantime, the chief put him on modified duty. The fuck does modified duty mean? Is that the same as administrative leave? Gotta turn in my gun, gotta turn in my badge, you know. You still technically an officer. Even though at the end of the episode, Rock said he wasn't a cop no more. which gave her reason to do what she did because, you know, he's not a cop. So we not gonna get no connection to him and Kanan. None at all. Nobody checking none of Burke's files. Nothing at all. Just the word of Bingham saying that he came and talked to me. He already explained the way that why he talked to Bingham to save your ass and to cover this department. Y'all didn't question the fact that the conversation he had with Bingham happened before Burke died, not after. Y'all didn't bring it up. Because he already said that he encouraged him to talk to IAD because he didn't want to be the snitch. So he already explained that away to y'all. But now y'all acting like it's brand new news again. It don't make sense. So Howard went to Temple. He didn't have his rug. He's supposed to have a rug. We saw him doing his prayers, but he didn't do the left to the right and the 5 times. He didn't do all that. He only did it once. Maybe he did it before we got the aerial shot. But that's probably why his motherfucking prayers didn't work. Because he didn't do it right at all. And it amazes me that every time he go to the temple, he's the only one in there. He's the only one in this temple ever. I mean, we saw the one dude outside once, but anywho, he goes to temple. After he leaves temple, then he goes over to talk to Rock. And Rock, like I said, is pretty shooken up about the shootout. So she got bodyguards at the door again, at least one. Neighbors don't find it strange. You was worried about Lou being out there telling everybody that you was a stone cold killer, and now you got a bodyguard at your front door, and that don't draw attention to your house. But okay. Anywho, they let Howard on in the house. Howard come in and she got the gun taken apart, about, you know, saying that she getting ready for whoever and whatever. Whenever, you know what I'm saying? And he's still trying to convince her, you need to put this shit on Marvin. In order to save my ass, your ass, and Kanan ass, we need to put it on Marvin. I ain't even sure if my ass could be saved all the way, but you need to put that shit on Marvin to get y'all free, okay? It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, while they over there talking, Jukebox is in the park with Aisha. Again, it's been 2 weeks. I done called you every fucking day. I shouldn't even be here right now because you wouldn't answer my call. You called me out the blue this morning. Then I drop everything I got to do to come to you. Okay? It don't matter though, boo, because I meant to you. We've been saying that Aisha was into her long time ago. She kissed Juke and Juke shocked like, wait a minute, why are you kissing me now? Wasn't you with my cousin? Well, I was only doing it with your cousin because I wasn't sure about my feelings I was having for you. I was kind of scared of that. You know, Juke's understand because Juke was going through the same thing when she was dealing with Nicole. She didn't want to really address those feelings, so she tried to do something differently. And so she understand Aisha at this particular point, right? She tell Aisha about her going off to the military. She leaving 1 week. And, you know, Nakia has disbanded the group, which a little drama for the group is usually a good thing. Especially since when you got Juke being the one with the tomboy image. She didn't get arrested. She just got questioned. How is that destroying the group? But Nakia saying, I don't think the group gonna work out. So the butt is done. But it's over with already. So Juke is deciding to go on off to the military, which she doesn't really want to do. You know, she's still trying to talk herself into the shit. Don't nobody know for real, right? She told Rock because Rock found the letter. She told Aisha because, you know, they could talk like that. So I guess you got to tell Kanan now, right? So Kanan, we don't know what's going on with Crystal, what's going on with the baby. We just know she was up there crying. That's all we know. Okay. Kanan walking down the street with Juke. He just want to tell Juke, look here, I ain't had nothing to do with what's going on with my mama. Earlier, Kanan had rolled up on Ronnie. Well, he was over there with Snaps and Pop. He always up there with Snaps and Papa. Snaps and Papa with their chastising Ronnie about the fact that they try to hit Rock and she ain't dead. Okay, Ronnie was like, "Well, I wasn't the one doing the shooting," and they was like, "That's the problem, nigga. You should have been the one doing the shooting. Let somebody else shoot for you, right?" And then Kanan come in, "Oh, I know you didn't try to hit my damn mama. We didn't talk about this." Actually, you did. I was at that meeting. I don't know how you wasn't at the meeting when they said that your mama need to be fucking handled. What the fuck you think handle mean? He was like, "Well, you my partner, nigga. This is something we supposed to discuss." I don't know what you don't understand, Kanan. Y'all ain't partners. In the technical sense, Ronnie work for you. You work for Ronnie. But I thought Ronnie worked for you because Ronnie was doing everything you said do. But Ronnie's like, "Look, her little nigga, you don't tell me what the fuck to do." He rolls up on him and shit. And Kanan like, "You don't know who the fuck I am, cuz." You know what I'm saying? They going back and exchanging all this animosity and this male testosterone flying back and forth. You got this grown ass man who the age of his mama. Let's remind that he's the age of his mama. Bitching with this 16-year-old. And this 16-year-old is calling your punk card. I told you leave my motherfucking family alone. But since you didn't, now I gotta let you know who the fuck I am. So he walking down the street letting Juke know, I ain't the one who did anything to do with my mama getting hit. That wasn't me. I don't do shit like that, right? And when this happens, a van rolls up. Kanan sees the van before we even heard, right? He's looking. The van stops in front of them. He jumps in front of Juke or steps in front of Juke. They jump out. Guns pointed everywhere. Everybody on the street scatter. They snatch Kanan up, rough him up, throw him in the van a little bit. I say this some bullshit right here. This is set up. And the dude stood there and looked at Juke with the gun in her face, and she looked at him, and he looked at her, and she looked at him. And then all of a sudden he got in the van. Now Kanan know damn well that Juke is the chatterbox. Everybody in town know that Juke is the jukebox. You know. She's the little songbird. She tells all the little secrets around town. But I knew it. I knew that Kanan wasn't. He wasn't on no snatch and grab. And what made me know it for sure, because we have already been calling many comparisons to Kanan's relationship to Ronnie, the same as the relationship to Tariq and Kanan. I already saw the parallel. So I already knew that this was a fake kidnapping. The same way that Kanan technically fake kidnapped Tariq. I mean, he took him. He snatched him. We saw all that. And then he kept him high. And he wasn't finna harm that little boy. He basically groomed Tariq at this particular time. So I was already getting that parallel. I just knew the same thing wasn't happening. But I was like, this ain't real. This ain't real. Because at some point, Tariq decided he wanted to go with Kanan to help get his daddy back. Because he hated his father so much. Because his father wanted to keep him out the game. The same way with Rock and Kanan and Ronnie. So I knew this wasn't no real kidnapping. I knew it. But it looked real. So Juke runs back to the house to go tell Rock they got Kanan. And she must have went to go tell her daddy first because they came in together. And she was in there again, rocking her, talking to Howard. And first Juke was like, what this motherfucker doing here? You talking to 5-0 now? Oh, he ain't 5-0 no more. Okay. Remember she said this. He's not 5-0 anymore. There's a point to her saying that. Okay. So they've all decided that it's Ronnie because of the van. Kanan kept saying that was Ronnie's van. That was Ronnie's van. So, you know, he said it so many doggone times. They let Juke know that Ronnie is the one that's taking me, right? So now they got to figure out what the fuck does Ronnie want. And Rock is like, he want it all. He want it all, girl. Okay. So Rock tells Marvin that we need to talk to Ronnie and Snaps, right? He had already went over there and talked to Ronnie and Snaps earlier after the shootout because shit getting real. We need to squash this. I don't want no fight between me and them. My son is on the other side, right? And so Marvin went over there to talk to Snaps, and Snaps was like, look, I ain't finna set up no damn meeting between these two hotheads. That's all they want to do is kill each other. Why? We still don't know why. And we never got a fucking answer this particular episode. And we will never get an answer at all for the questions that we have about why Rock and why Ronnie have so much tension. We could speculate to Kingdom Come, and at this particular point, it doesn't seem that we're going to ever find that answer. Everybody's assuming that Ronnie was fucking DEFCON. Because remember, DEFCON was gay. And the way that he stood up and he thinks about it, he praises DEFCON, it makes it assume that he had something to do with him. And he didn't like the fact that Rock was his bird. And which is one of the reasons why he probably took on Kanan as this little protege, because everybody believed that was DEFCON's son. I don't know, because I'm thinking that if him and DEFCON really was connected like that, maybe he just had a love for DEFCON, but if they was really connected like that, then that would be a secret that he would know. He would know. But we found out that Ronnie didn't know until later on. Okay, so anywho, so this particular time, Marvin got to go over there and talk to Snaps and Pop again, right? And he goes with Rock this time. Come to find out, like I said, Rock, he wants the business, he wants the money, he wants $500,000. Okay, so now Rock has to figure out where the fuck to get $500,000 from, right? And of course, she's gonna go get it from Stefano. We had to go see Tony dance before the end of this episode. She got to go get it from Stefano. I'm surprised that she didn't go to Joaquin, but she went to Stefano instead. And Stefano, he gonna give her the $500,000. He gonna put a little stipend on it, a little extra tax on it. She gotta pay him back that tax. But it was something in the way that he looked at her. It was not necessarily admiration at this particular point, even though he told her that he had a little crush on her. But it was something like, you gonna owe me. I don't care when you give me this $500 back, you gonna owe me bigger than that. That's what I got out of that look that he gave her at the end. So Rock is going to take the $500,000 and try to go meet up with Ronnie to give him this money to get Kanan back, right? And Howard says, I'm going with you. And Rock is like, no, we can't have 5 around. He like, no, I'm going with you. Okay, I may not be going to this next little meeting where you gonna ask this Italian for this doggone money, but I'm going with you in the end to get our son back, okay? We are family. Hey. Okay? I got all the Thomases with me. But speaking of that, you need to put that other Thomas down. Don't forget that. We could go save Kanan, but somebody still got to take the hit for this. And I'm still saying, hit Marvin ass. That's what he's still saying. And Rock still ain't trying to hurt him on that, right? So, is there anything that I'm missing, right? Before I get on to this little last point. We got Lou. He tried to kill himself. We can see nothing else from him. We still don't know what the real issue is with him and his mama. We didn't get any type of closure on that. We got Fame hemmed up down at the police station. And they want him to turn evidence on Howard or what he knows about Howard. Now, Fame does know that Howard is Kanan's daddy. So, but I just don't see Fame. I just don't see Fame saying anything at this particular time. But we didn't hear nothing else about that. We had Marvin earlier at Gerald's funeral. The police tried to come up on him and said, even though Gerald is dead, don't think we ain't taking our eyes off of you. So we still got our eyes on you. And Marvin tell him, fuck you and feed you grits, right? He went to go talk to his lawyer. His lawyer gonna see what he can learn about what the FBI got going on and what the tea really is. And it's gonna get back to him. But we never saw anything else that had to do with that. We just saw Marvin running around being Rock's lackey, going to have all these meetings with Pops and Snap. 1 and 2, 3, everywhere that she go, he go. Marvin was there. Marvin is now fulfilling the position that Lou had back in the day. It makes you forget that Marvin is the older brother. That Rock was supposed to be the middle child. Jukebox going off to the military. She leaving a week. Kanan now knows. Aisha knows. And Rock knows. Only person who don't know is her daddy. Okay, but we don't get anything else in as far as the connection with Marvin and the FBI and what all they really do know. We don't get anything from Marvin and Juke to find out that his daughter is leaving for the fucking military in 7 days. We don't get any of that. We don't get any interaction with Marvin going to see his brother and being there for his brother. We still have not had one fucking episode where Marvin is in communication with the mother at all. We don't get none of that. No closure on none of that. Howard, we got the chief breathing down his back, the FBI breathing down his back, and they want to connect him to Marvin so bad. They trying to get everybody to give up information on him. They don't have shit for real but a suspicion, but they gonna issue a warrant for his arrest for what? We don't know. They don't know either, child. Okay. Kanan has now confronted Ronnie and talk tough, talk big cash money shit on him after Ronnie tried to kill his mama and missed at the fucking light, you know what I'm saying? And now Kanan is supposedly kidnapped. We know that Crystal may be pregnant, but we don't know because we didn't go back to that at all. All we saw was the tears. We don't know if she just came back from Planned Parenthood and had an abortion and she feeling some kind of way about that. Kanan had just dumped her and she feeling some kind of way about that. All we know is that she was in tears. The girl may or may not be pregnant, but as far as we know, Kanan only had Sean as a child and she ain't Jarita. Okay, Stefano done gave some money to Rock. Not one time during this particular episode did we see Rock doing business at all. We ain't seen her money move over at the restaurants. We ain't seen nothing else happening at the fast food, Chinese food. None of that. We ain't seen no business interaction with Rock at all. And one of the things that Miss Honey brought up in one of her, if it wasn't Miss Honey, it was really B TV, and she was on the panel, said this. There was a point in time that they were following Rock. Remember, the police was taking pictures and snapping pictures of Rock? Somehow that just fell off the wayside. They're no longer following Rock anymore, which they never explained why they're not following her anymore. What do they do with that FBI tail? You don't never catch her with Howard. The whole street, everybody on the streets talking about how Ronnie just tried to gun down Rock, and the police don't know. Because usually when the streets talking, it get back to the police some kind of way. Don't nobody know with the precinct. Again, we still have no information about Scrap's mama, that she died, and the last person that she talked to was Howard. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. No conversation about it at all. Okay. And so Rock is down here. Her, Howard, they going out here to take this money in. And Marvin is up on the rooftop, right? Looking down, keeping an eye on everything, make sure, seeing who coming and going, right? I don't know how he made it downstairs to that building so fast, because his car was around the corner too. But anywho, Rock goes inside. They pat her and Epps down. Epps talking cash money shit to everybody, right? Ronnie comes out and says, hey, I want what you got, pretty much. Rock is like, well, here the shit is. I want my fucking son. He's like, I can't give you back what I don't have. Then we come and find out, here comes Kanan walking off in the back. Like, I ain't get kidnapped, ma. I ain't get kidnapped. Y'all got played. And, you know, Rock and Howard looking at each other like, what the fuck? And then Ronnie said, yeah, that's all I wanted was the business and the work. Kanan wanted the damn money. So, they're shocked. And like, what the fuck is happening? Ronnie makes a statement at this particular point that says, yeah, I wasn't even let no cops up in here, but when he told me who you were, saying, but he's not really saying that you his daddy. But he said when he told me who you were, it all made sense. I felt that it was okay for you to come on in. So we can make the assumption that Kanan said, that's my dad. That's my pops. Mm-hmm. He alright. He's straight. That's my daddy. He in on this. Pause. Oh, shoot. I said to pause to go back to jukebox for a second. Another reason with jukebox, like I say, she going off to the military and don't nobody know she going off to the military. Well, her daddy don't know. What pushes jukebox to the edge? We've got speculation that something's going to happen to jukebox while she's in the military. But what? And it's going to have something to do with her sexuality. That's what everybody is speculating, right? Because during that time, again, it was don't ask, don't tell. I still don't see how that makes jukebox the woman that she was. Remember, she was breaking in houses. She's doing breaking and enterings. She was in the game hard. Juke wasn't in the game. Juke ain't even stole shit since she got with Nicole. Juke done stopped stealing. What put Jukebox back to that point? We have no fucking transition on what's going on with Jukebox. We got that she joined in the military, which is possibly her tie to when she became a police officer. But she ended up being a police officer in D.C., robbing fucking houses and then kidnapping. How did you get to that point? Because we got no resolution with Marvin in this particular episode. So we don't even have that. She's angry with the world because of it. She's angry with her family to the point that she feels like she got to separate herself from them. Jukebox ain't asked shit about Lou. Ain't questioned where Uncle Lou at one time. Back to the scene. Kanan tells Ronnie, go ahead and check the money. That's all you there, dog. Even though he just said Kanan is the one that wanted the money. But Ronnie gets down on one knee, goes to the bag and say, oh shit, we rich, nigga. And Kanan walks up behind him. Shoot him dead. He didn't do the standard 2 to the chest, 1 to the head dead. But he shot him dead. And everybody's shocked. Rock is shocked. Epps is shocked. Epps even goes so far to say, what the fuck? And everybody's shocked. So Rock goes over to Ronnie, picks up Ronnie's gun, and pulls it on Howard. And Howard looking at her like, what the hell? Now, Rock don't feel so bad. Because Rock didn't kill cops, even though she wanted Kanan to kill the cop. Rock didn't kill cops. But since he's no longer a cop, Rock and she shoots Howard. She didn't do her normal 2 to the chest and 1 to the head either. She did 1 shot. 1 shot, 1 kill. He dead. He fall down and go boom. And Kanan like, what the fuck? Somehow Marvin comes from up the overpass and into the building just in time for the 2 goons who was at the door to make it over to Rock. Somehow Marvin make it from over at the overpass when he was watching to make sure nobody come with a gun. We got 2 of Ronnie's goons at the door. They didn't walk far to get past them, to get over to Ronnie. He was in the back, but they didn't walk far. But somehow Marvin was able to make it from the overpass downstairs, around the corner, into the building where the door was fucking locked. And takes out the 2 guys who was inside the building already with them. And then asks the question, what the fuck just happened? Everybody confused. So Kanan set up the kidnapping in order to get the money, supposedly. That's all he wanted was the money. But he was going to take Ronnie out in the process. Bada boom, bada bang, bang. Ronnie dead. I didn't like that either. I know that people hated Ronnie with a passion. I know that people hated Ronnie because he killed Unique. I know this. I hated Ronnie. Ronnie was a character that I loved to hate. I loved the chaos that Ronnie brought. And now that Ronnie is dead, and it ain't at the hands of Rock, it ain't at the hands of Unique, it's at the hands of Kanan, we will never ever know what the real beef was between Rock and Ronnie. And I said this last episode, and I'm going to say it again. Up until this moment, Rock and Ronnie have never been in the same scene. Rock and Ronnie had never met face to face. From the whole time he got out of jail to right now. This entire time, all this bickering, all this bitching, all this whining, all this fuck Rock. We never got to see Ronnie and Rock in a scene together until right now, and Kanan was the one that took him out. That's all I'm saying. I didn't like that. I really needed Ronnie to be there to cause more chaos, because we have no more chaos anymore. Camacho's gone, who I call Patron. Hollywood's gone. I forgot what his character's name was. Sal's gone. Gerald is not spying on anymore. Gone. Ronnie, gone. Burke, gone. Howard, gone. There is no enemy. Warrell, gone. There's no real enemy. Tanner, I don't consider to be an enemy at all. He's so focused on getting Howard at this point that he done lost sight that he's trying to figure out who the hell killed the Italians. That was the reason that he was there. Howard brought that up. I ain't had nothing to do with them fucking Italians. Tanner done forgot his fucking job. You are there to figure out who is killing all these Italians. And now you're trying to solve South Jamaica Queens crime organization. That wasn't what you were sent there for. So now we got Howard dead, one shot to the dome. Ronnie dead, one shot to the dome. And Rock picks up the money. So Kanan still ain't got it. And he like, what the fuck? You know? She tells him, Kanan, you come with us. Because Marvin come in like, we need to get out of here. We need to get out of here now. Okay? So they go and they get out of there. And that's when, Kanan like, why the fuck did you do that? Basically, you just killed my daddy. Remember, he was just starting to build bonds with that man. You just killed my fucking daddy. Rock said I did what I had to do. Because again, she wasn't willing to take out Marvin or take down Marvin. But she been wanting him to be gone anyway. He know too much. Like he said, we could co-conspirators in this shit. Rock protected her own ass as usual. Okay. Let's not make that misunderstood. She was trying to protect Marvin, but she mainly protected her own ass at this particular point. So Kanan leaves with him. They leave out the building. And then we see the camera pan down on Ronnie. And it scrolls to his feet. I mean, not to Ronnie, to Epps, scrolls to his feet. Goes over to Ronnie. And then we see some boots standing there. And the camera pans up. And who it be? Unique. And I was not at one point moved at all. And 50 Cent said, the one lesson that we got from all of this is when you kill a motherfucker, make sure they dead. Because Unique is not dead. But he wasn't even the one that had the pleasure to take his own brother out either. Unique's not dead. And this is why Unique is not dead. You remember when 50 Cent changed the theme song to Power and made it Trey Songz instead of Joe, and the fans lost their motherfucking mind? That's exactly what happened here. Because Joey Badass had been on a tour, telling everybody that he was dead, telling everybody he was written off the show. Gave an explanation, the reason why shit didn't work out, because he was going back on tour and he can get his tour schedule linked up with the show schedule. But they brought him back at the end to see his brothers dead. He didn't feel no kind of way. He didn't go home to see his son. He didn't go home to see Pernessa. We didn't see her at all this episode. I'm still not expecting him to be back fully for season 4, if he does come back for season 4. But it was because of the fans' outcry and the love that they have for Unique that they decided to bring him back as a survivor in this particular episode. Face fucked all the hell up to be damned. You know what I'm saying? I won't even open out here looking like Method Man and shit. Fetty Wap. He guess how he look. Fetty and Method. You know, remember Method had the, yeah. That's what he, not the current day Method Man, because the current day Method Man is fine as fuck. But anyway, back in the day when the meth first came out and he had the eye rolling in his hair was braided in it. Yeah. And Fetty, okay, that's what Joey Badass Unique looking like right now. He like Fetty Wap. He looking like Unique Wap right now. Fetty Unique, one of the two. And he stood there and then he just looked up at the camera. And that's how the show ended. That's how the show ended. I didn't get any answers. I didn't get anything that I thought I should have got as far as answers out of this. We had a lot of people lose their lives this season. A lot of chapters was closed. But a lot of chapters were closed without proper information being relayed, proper connection, dots connecting. But overall, the season was good. This episode wasn't a bad episode, but I didn't like it because it didn't answer a lot of shit that I felt should have been answered. It was like they was rushing the season, so they was leaving out a lot of stuff. It's been a disconnect since the writer's strike, since they came back and started the show again. I can clearly see the separation. Matter of fact, whoever the character was, whoever the writer was that was writing for Lou, is the one that ended up writing for Ronnie at the end, because the only fucking words they knew was fuck rock. But now we'll never know why fuck rock, was a thing. I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that Snaps and Pop got into this argument with Rock about, he basically trying to son her, this, that, and the third, about him being an OG and she need to respect the OGs, and she like fuck the OGs, and he like, well, now she got a motherfucking problem, right? And we didn't see them do anything. Ronnie was the one that tried to put the hit out on Rock, but Ronnie missed because he sent his boys. He should have had Ty Dolla $ign. Ty Dolla $ign was ready to whip it up last particular episodes, and he wasn't one of the ones who was the shooter. What was his name? Clarence or some shit like that. Okay, so yeah, we didn't get. It's too much unanswered shit, and people are expecting a time jump between this season and Juke going off to the military and come back. With the Army, that's all you had to do was 2 years minimum. I think it's still that way. The Marine Corps and I believe the Navy are the only ones that require you to do 4 years. The Air Force doesn't require you to do 4 years. The Army, you only required to do at least 2 years. So we could do a 2-year time jump and come back, but if we do a 2-year time jump and come back when Juke comes back from the military, then I'm still begging the question of what the fuck is she doing in New York, because she ended up in DC. I need to know how we get there. We could do a Juke spinoff. I wouldn't mind doing a Juke spinoff at all. Because I want to know Juke's story. I want to know Snap and Pops. I want to see they spinoff too. For real. I want to know. Well, another thing we didn't get answered, who the fuck was Howard's informant? Now that Howard is dead, how are we ever going to know? I had summed up that the informant was Kenya. And the reason why I made it Kenya is because his informant did get pregnant, but at the age she got pregnant was the age Kenya was pregnant with Juke, not the age that Rock was pregnant with Kanan. And the amount of vitriol that Rock had for Howard, I cannot see her being his informant. So we never going to get that answer. Never going to get that answer. And now that Howard is dead, I guess the FBI going to close the case. We going to see him laying in there with Ronnie. And they going to say, see, we knew he was part of the crime organization. Or they going to shut the case in. Where the fuck are they going to go with that? Where the fuck are they going to go with that story? Okay. We never really even got to hear what was going on with the police, the crooked ass cop that had did some shit wrong, and that's why all these prisoners got out of jail. We never got that full story anymore. They stopped talking about that. Child, so much left undone. I didn't know this was an hour fucking long. This is an hour long, y'all. Let me get off here. This has been Power. It is 10:54 p.m. my time. This video probably gonna load by midnight. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for coming and hanging with me all season long. I love y'all as my viewers, my subscribers. We will be back for season 4 without a doubt. If you have not, go over to Miss Honey channel and watch her recap and review on Power. I'm about to go watch it right now. Then run over to TSF Entertainment. Like I said, they welcome me into the family. I just couldn't make the panel myself. And watch their panel discussion where they all get together and discuss it. I know Really BTV is on the panel. Retro G, Miss Honey. I didn't catch everybody else's names because this is going to be my first time really engaging with everybody. So yeah, go check them out. Again, shout out to our girl Keisha Charmaine, who I like to consider my little sister. She y'all cousin. Go over to her channel, support her as well. We've seen her as a background actor in this season of Power, and we do know that she's going to be a background actor again in season 4 of Power as well. So be looking out for her as well there too. That's all I got for y'all, child. Again, I thank y'all for being here this season. Y'all have a good one. See you in the next video. Peace.